today, a new day, a new guest. Today I have Hashique with us, who is passionate about building products. Over the span of 16 years, he has played various roles in making companies successful. He has built platforms, he has built products which redefine the way a user interacts with them. Let's welcome Hashique on 10 Minutes of Hiding Wisdom, where he will tell us about what he has learned along the way, where he has worked, and some of the tips that he might have for job seekers out there. Hi Hashique, how are you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us, Hashique. I'd love to hear about your experience, where you work, and what your role is within the company.
All right. So I am currently working with Amazon. I'm leading a couple of interesting teams. I've been managing teams for the last 3 years. I was a senior engineer prior to that. And interestingly, I was in my previous company, was in a company called Altair. I worked there for 6 years. I was a manager there. From technical lead to manager there in Altair. I was there for like 6 years, based out of Troy. We built some interesting products there. Prior to that, I was in IBM for 4 years.
Okay, so you've had you work with some of the biggest companies. So how did you get your way into these big companies? Because I think Amazon, IBM and everything, a lot of people dream to work for these companies. So how was your experience like working for such companies, and how did you manage to get your way in?
Yeah, I think I always want to build products. I've started building products even earlier than that in college, and even in I helped some folks to build question bank kind of a thing. This is like way old, during the early 99 2000 time. Prior to that, then I was in college. Then I've tried building software for some retail companies for their book management stuff, very simple stuff. But then I've been always want to build products. So I got this opportunity at IBM. Um, uh, that's an interesting story, but let me get to the IBM part. Again, it was building products. So it's always the product divisions and making products and having that conversations and on how we are building, what are the things, what is the reasons, and and all those design conflicts you get really made my day. That wakes me up. My early days in IBM, we used to have this, have this kind of blocked meeting rooms where we just whiteboard with things where there is not everything will match up. Then you get some ideas when you're in the shower. So those kind of things really gets me going. For the IBM, Amazon, again, it was a journey. At some point, I felt IBM was so big, and it's getting bigger. And one of the projects we really cherished kind of didn't work through. I kind of moved to a company called Altair, which was a much smaller place compared to IBM. But then there was this opportunity to build a product from scratch. So that's really taken off. So I got this amazing opportunity to build something which from scratch. The early version didn't go through, so they want to build a new product. So that's kind of really got me there.
Wow. So what excites you about building products, Hashique? Like, you've been centered around building products and everything, but what's something that you're just like, okay, this is where I see myself doing for the rest of my life just because I enjoy it? So what's something that you like about it so much?
That's a good question. I think it's this. I think early stage is more of that discussions, right? We had this. I found that sitting on something, you're just materializing, which actually somebody is going to use it and they're going to pay for it. It's kind of really awesome stuff. And again, when you're actually putting puzzles, it's like cooking, right? You add some ingredients, you make something. Even if you're making something which is done before, it's still nice. And if you're making something new, there will be quite a lot of challenges which comes with it. And cooking, it doesn't have it much, but in design and stuff, there will be quite a lot of constraints. It could be constraint on the systems, constraint on something which you're completely unknown. Building and the learnings you get talking to that team, those collaborations, that entire life cycle for that, and then thinking through that what can break, what can go wrong, so that you don't have to go away. And so that is also another interesting conversations. I think that's the one thing I can think about. Yeah.
The next question I have for you, Hashique, is You mentioned that there's a scarcity of talent these days. So I'd love to hear regarding whether your team is hiring, what kind of positions are open, and what kind of roles are you looking to fill within your team?
So my team particularly, I'm part of a CRM platform which is used across 68 organizations internally. You look at transportation vendors. Anyone customer wants to reach out to Amazon, they actually use our platform. And it's a heavily used systems. You look at an Amazon scale, we have millions of sellers, and same thing from transportation. And so in each point, the issues which you are getting and an associate on the other, the process is very high, and Amazon is growing exponentially. So to get up to that speed, we really need to have we need to think much different. Our problems haven't solved ever. So the scale which Amazon is going, we need to really think differently, think new. It's exciting every day. We are rethinking how a platform like CRM, which is an order platform, how can redefine in the use cases which Amazon has in Amazon scale. So currently, my team is just exactly in the epicenter of that, doing on rethinking on how we can bring things dynamically, and how associate can solve the problems faster, and things like that. So I have multiple projects, interesting space there. In terms of team, we're looking for talented engineers who can actually own up some of these things. My leadership style is mostly to give more autonomy to the people so that they can build new things. So as I've been earlier, that it's all building that products. I really want to give that to the team so that they can build their own space with an interesting problem space. So really looking for a lot of talented engineers who can join our team. Our team is growing. We're finding more problems. So that's when we have our positions are more of engineers who have some experience. We have space for more someone who's in the earlier in the experience, but also someone who has more experience on building things. All other convenient more people.
So a lot of positions are open, and I think people would love to work on you because I think the old transition style, it's the old leader style where people tend to micromanage. So definitely working under a leader like you who gives you full autonomy to work on problems, come up with your own solutions, will always be great. So thank you for sharing that. And I hope your team continues to find amazing talent. But our time is up, Hashique. We like to keep things short. It was an absolute pleasure speaking to you, learning about your wonderful company, where you're working, and how your company is solving and redefining the way CRM works. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.